All CIA and DIA mind control technologies fall into three categories: censorship, memory management, direct behavioral control. They want to censor your thoughts, force you into an abusive, incoherent pattern of thought, to censor your ability to your memory and thought process. Okay, so they're not interested in the truth. They're only going to capture what they want to abuse you with. Okay, so you need to understand, they're using blocking and injection methods. Memory management is blocking your real memories and injecting with fabricated and falsified memories. There is no legal application whatsoever for this technology. Mind control and these mind control hive mind teams are not interested in any particularly any law. They could care less about the law. They have a license to torture and kill people.
You hear that?
And they're not interested in any particularly any law. They could care less about the law. They have a license to torture and kill people.
You go to study the law, go to court all you want.
Any acceptable way of life. They're intellectual barbarians. They're intellectual barbarians. These cognitive researchers, which make up the hive mind teams, psychiatrists, psychologists, neuroscientists, behavioral scientists, and so forth, are nothing more than intellectual barbarians. They're monsters. They simply use whatever you enjoy, hate.
I mean, you really think that you'll be able to go to court and try to, fight this in court anyway? You think these like he said, barbarians? I haven't used that word in a long time. Barbarians, man. I haven't heard that or used it enough in a long time. But you think these I think I need to start using this word again. You think these barbarians gonna allow you to go to court? Even if you studied law, right? Let's say if you studied law. And let's just say, you have somebody like Brian too, or, somebody that can articulate very well, try to go to court and speak on their behalf about this technology. You really think these barbarians going to allow that to happen? Because number one, everybody's in on it, the judges, the lawyers and attorneys and stuff like that. So you're going to have to do it yourself, right? But then at the same time, they like to torture people with those weapons too. So, how do you know that? Let's just say if you getting ready to go to court or whatever, and let's just say I don't know. I'm just saying honestly. Let's just say if your shit looking right, you got all this evidence and facts. Don't forget, we talking DARPA now. They could just hit you with a laser beam right in your damn heart or some shit. You know what I mean? Take you the fuck out. Like they can do that. And guess what? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Nobody knows nothing. Because remember, nobody on your team, not in the physical, If you're spiritually connected, then yeah, you might have a spiritual team, but most of y'all targets ain't even spiritually connected. Y'all just walking around here like like a bump on a log. Y'all like sitting ducks. You know what I'm saying? Quack, quack.
To appreciate, doesn't matter to them, to abuse you. So realize that, if they give you a compliment during the morning or the afternoon, they're only creating a situational and conversational scenario for the purposes of verification of their technology so that they can go back that night and torture you with it repeatedly as the system probes you for a specific set of responses regarding that specific situational or conversational scenario to verify their technology. They want to see how you will respond. Mind control, trauma-based mind control, is based on the responses of the victim. They must force the victim to respond. That's why they constantly target my heart every night. And then as soon as I scream out in the middle of the night, every night, they stop, only to start again and repeat the process all night long, forcing me into a repeated pattern of responses. The only way I can get them to stop is to cry out. Because remember, I'm on surveillance camera. This FBI, police, whatever, BS they've been using for the last 21 years. Okay, so understand what organized stalking is about. Situational and conversational scenarios designed to create memory anchors. Designed to create memory anchors. Nothing. People wonder, in the future, will this technology, when it becomes more sophisticated and advanced, be able to tell whether my thoughts are true or false? No, because the system is using a fabricated and falsified stream. So they don't care about the truth. They couldn't tell whether your thoughts were true or false if their life depended on it. It's simply not possible. Nothing that the system, the R&M supercomputer, is collecting. Remember, that's remote neural monitoring, collecting and cataloging data regarding your memory references. Okay, that's the first stage formulation of remote neural monitoring. Remote neural monitoring being the ability of the system to image, measure, and transmit data regarding your brain and neural activity, okay? Well, the collection and cataloging of data is the first stage. Formulation is the first stage of mind control. But they can't tell whether your thoughts are true or false. Every piece of information that the system is able to capture, okay, is falsified. It must be considered falsified and fabricated because it's a falsified and fabricated stream of energy. It's nothing more. The system is designed simply to provide mental suggestions. According to data, the fabricated and falsified stream that they're using contains data. So the system's continuously designed to provide suggestions according to whatever data they have been able to previously collect regarding your memory references. Your memories. They're using your own memories against you. The system is designed to provide mental suggestions, to fabricate stories. The system is designed to remotely capture random bits of your senses and then to fabricate stories, mental suggestions, thought-triggered attacks at speed of light. Energy travels at speed of light. So to fabricate these mental suggestions, fabricated stories based upon whatever it was able to capture, those are called thought-triggered attacks, injected back into the subconscious of the victim at regular intervals, in order to pitch the victim in some type of action or access sequence, okay? So it's all according to the data, whatever data they were able to previously collect during the silent monitoring period about whatever current activity you were engaged in. So the accuracy of their reference descriptions is meaningless to them because there's no way for them to verify it. When I say reference descriptions, what I mean is your synaptic responses, the definitions that they're using. So, it's extremely low. It's not accurate at all. All they can do, their technology is based on pattern recognition. Based on pattern recognition, they're looking to identify, develop, and integrate coherent patterns of thought back into R&M data. So the attackers, the hive mind teams, don't really care about the truth. The system is not designed to be able to discern truth from a falsehood. It's only designed to be able to fabricate statements or images.
They don't care about the truth, so ain't no need to try to wake a bot up. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about them destroying the Constitution, create the police state, stop seeing all that shit. They don't care. They don't care about the truth.
Remote neural attacks, which they abuse you with constantly, hundreds of times a day. The fabricated images, verbal and visual sequences, are either the result of the inability or misinterpretation of those reference descriptions, memories, synaptic responses. Okay? So the misinterpretation of those references, those memory references, those reference descriptions of the emotional responses of the victim. When I say emotional responses, I mean emotional indicators. That's why pleasing music is so severely decimates their technology, because it jostles those emotional indicators, preventing the supercomputer from locking on to the victim's emotional state. The system is designed to lock on to the emotional state of the victim. So,
So they like when y'all mad.
It's,
they like when you mad, when they torturing you and everything. And then y'all get mad, especially that babe Honey, what's her name? Honey Maid. I haven't heard from her in a while, but all that, feisty attitude that she used to do in the videos, there's a lot of people, that be acting all rowdy and shit due to the targeting. That's why you see I spend my time to, I joke about the shit. I still laugh, even though you might get on your nerves and everything, but you still laugh it off. Because everything, like you said, brain synaptics, that's all it is, man. They just recording data. They just tracking and storing data. They want to see what piss you off so they can continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? These are sick-ass bastards, you know what I'm saying? But it's fun to them. Because they got the power to do it. They got the, they hiding. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's hiding behind everybody. The bots is hiding behind the law enforcement. The law enforcement hiding behind the feds. The feds hiding behind the CIA. The CIA hiding behind the damn dragons. You know what I'm saying? The reptilian motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody all pussyfied. Everybody hiding behind each other. You know what I mean? But so my thing is the only thing I could suggest is just laugh at the shit. If anything, don't be snapping out at them. You know what I'm saying? Especially about the other dude. That boy. What's the boy name that be snapping? The boy Paul. That's why Paul ended up in the damn hospital a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Cause he's snapping out. He don't realize that he driving his own self crazy. You know what I mean? They see him as that's easy prey to them. He's like, yeah, we're gonna handle this guy. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna make it long. You know what I'm saying? That's how they gonna look at it. Cause you gonna drive yourself crazy. You gonna make yourself unhealthy just by snapping out like that. Stress, trauma. Like he said, trauma-based mind control. Yeah, you can be putting your own self to the trauma base. You know what I mean? So I trust me. Trust me. I've been in this motherfucking program for a long time now. DB know what he talking about. You know what I mean? And the way Honey Maid and Paul and several other y'all motherfuckers be going about this program, you could do what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you what to do. You can do what the fuck you want. Like the Hodge twin says, eat whatever the fuck you want to eat. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is, when you end up in them hospitals and shit all fucked up, don't say DB ain't warn your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And that's why I always encourage people to take, get up on your herbal supplements, man, because you're gonna need that. Because you're dealing with trauma 24 fucking 7, 24 fucking 8. So you're gonna need those herbs to heal the brain, to heal the trauma that you have, this program has caused upon your body, all the stress, all the trauma-based mind control, all the stress on the body, the anxiety now you're paranoid and you're scared and you're shook. You know what I'm saying? Your blood pressure up. Now the beast got you on blood pressure medication. You know what I'm saying? You all fucked up.
These fabricated and falsified mental suggestions are the result of either the misinterpretation of those emotional indicators or distortion of whatever injection feedback they were able to capture. When I say injection feedback, I'm talking about this information and injection feedback loop, this bidirectional stream of energy. Plus they have, false entries. They want you to think they're omnipotent instead of idiots that need to spend more time learning the systems they're torturing and killing people with. They don't want you to understand that they're making mistakes left and right. These hive mind teams, these cognitive researchers, using false entries as they manipulate your brainwave signature, your brainwave pattern, alpha, beta, delta, theta. So false entries added manually, or because of the attackers, the hive mind team's inability to make sense of what they see on their virtual interface, to understand what they see, or basically their malintent. So it's based on the misinterpretation of those emotional indicators, using, based on false entries that they made because of their inability to make sense of what they see on their virtual interface or their malintent. If they can't make sense of what they see, there's no way for them to verify their technology. There's simply no reliable way for the attackers to determine what's true, even if they were able to apply those emotional indicators to each response. An attempt to do so would be equivalent to, for example, a cop dropping a gun at a crime scene and saying, that gun belonged to some random passerby. That's fabricated and falsified. No court of law would ever accept that. No administrative tribunal will ever accept that. They can't. There's no legal application for this technology. Mind control technology is not about determining the truth. Mind control technology is about censorship, memory management, and direct behavioral control.
Torture.
Random and falsified.
Torture your ass.
There's no way. Random bits of your senses, emotions, thoughts, falsified and fabricated memories injected back into your subconscious at regular intervals. Everything they do is a deadly game. I want to emphasize that word, deadly.
Tell them.
Deadly game of deception and manipulation, nothing more.
They ain't, hold up.
Nothing deadly.
Tell them.
Deadly game.
Tell them. They ain't hear you.
I want to emphasize that word, deadly.
To the slow motherfuckers in the back.
Game of deception and manipulation, nothing more. Nothing more. It is a deadly game of two words.
Just ignore it, Brian, too. Just ignore it, man. It ain't that deadly.
The system, again, is designed to randomly capture.
Just ignore it, Brian, too. It ain't deadly. Just ignore it. That's what the dumbass boss be saying, Brian. That's what they telling me. Just ignore it, D.
Capture bits of your senses.
You gonna
I
ignore
should say
these
to
balls in your
remotely
mouth.
capture random bits of your senses, and then to fabricate stories based upon whatever it is able to capture. And then inject those mental suggestions, those fabricated stories, back into your subconscious at the speed of light to deceive and manipulate you. Deception and manipulation. To interrogate and harass you. To distract you and torture you into submission to the system's influence. That's how the technology works. That's how mind control works. So that's how remote neural manipulation works.
So in other words, everybody that's obeying,
choices of the victim during
everybody that's going along with it are already under submission. Then, you know what I'm saying? You hear what he said? Look at it. Hold on. Let me take it back a little bit.
And manipulation. To interrogate and harass you. To distract you and torture you into submission to the system's influence.
All right, then. So that's what I told y'all. That's what it's all about. The bots done already fell to submission, to the system's influence. You see what I'm saying? They done already bowed down to the beast. That's why these motherfuckers so relentless and shit. Yeah, they done already, yes sir, master. Obey, all that.
That's how the technology works. That's how mind control works. So that's how remote neural manipulation works. The ability of the system to predict and influence the reference choices of the victim during thought composition. Predict and influence. By speeding up or slowing down the cognitive model, provided they have one that's in place, provided they have one that's, a semi-complete model, because their technology is dependent upon the system being able to do that. That's why the organized stalkers and the surveillance teams are constantly moving ahead of you to every previous memory reference you ever visited. Every store, every cafe, every restaurant.
Every cafe.
Keep you from defeating the technology, because the system predicts you're going to A and you end up going to B or C or D or some other location.
Right.
The technology just failed.
Facts.
So to keep you from defeating the technology, they're using what's called the floating box on you. They got you boxed in, using picket surveillance and leapfrogging to surround you, to keep you from defeating the technology. So the system, that R&M supercomputer, the remote neural manipulation, that's mind control, not remote neural monitoring. Remote neural manipulation is mind control. Okay? The system is mapping those patterns of your behavior with impulses and identifiers. What does that mean? Synaptic responses. Responses of your brain. The synaptic responses. They're breaking your brain down to the synaptic level. Whole brain emulation. The system is downloading every single synaptic response you make.
Ain't that a bitch?
Decode electromagnetic activity inside the neural pathways of your brain into thought patterns. As it reads your mind, as it creates this cognitive model of your brain for training, research, and development to destroy you and destroy others around you, to turn you into a weapon who will either inflict destruction upon others or who will self-destruct. This is a weapon system.
Son of a bitch.
This is not for the betterment of humanity. This is a weapon system designed to destroy. So the system's ability to define and map those references, those memory references, depends either on the victim's ignorance of the fact that they're targeted, or on the ability of the hive mind teams to make sense of what they can see on their virtual interface, or guess based on your past activity. If they can't make sense of what they see on their virtual interface, they have no choice, but to revert back to your past activity to predict your behavior, to try and predict and influence what you're doing.
That's how they do it.
To keep you from defeating the technology. This is what they're doing by creating this cognitive model is they're destroying people, sacrificing people, innocent men, women, and children, even little children are tortured and murdered. 36-year-old children. People just can't get their hands around, can't get their mind around that. It's unbelievable. But it's happening.
It's
unbelievable. Because they have to get to the child with extreme physical and psychological trauma before the core personality sets somewhere between 6 and 7 years of age, give or take. So the torture and trauma, physical and psychological trauma, the rape, the brutal torture begins with a child somewhere between 3 and 6 years of age, because only then, once they can inflict extreme trauma upon the child, physical and psychological trauma, can they induce multiple personality disorder before the core personality of the child sets. Ego, id, the core personality. Okay, they're using this cognitive model to turn your brain into their very own visual, verbal, and auditive, keyword auditive communication system. The science that they're using is called psychophysics. The technology that they're using is called psychotronics.
Big words. They're using the big words.
That's what it is. Again, memory management. Again, three things. Everything they're doing to their victims, including me. Censorship, memory management, direct behavioral control. That's why my ears are so devastated. So much severe acoustic trauma and nerve damage at higher levels. That's behavior modification. They severely damaged my hearing at higher levels, so that I couldn't use music to break brain entrainment with their system. The music so severely distorted it's painful to listen to no longer constitutes a dominant external stimulus because it's no longer pleasing in nature. Therefore, because it no longer constitutes a dominant external stimulus, it no longer entrains my brain away from the visual and verbal entrainments of the system, defeating their technology. That's how the technology is designed to work. Everything they're doing to their victims, falls into one of those three categories. Censorship, memory management, direct behavioral control. Mind control victims want to know, what are they doing to me? And millions are targeted and have no idea.
Millions, y'all.
Over the last 25 years, millions of people.
Millions.
It's all automated, active, and adaptive, run by supercomputers.
Millions, okay? Y'all.
Hundreds.
But the big bitch Flora Braun said that I'm law of attracting this shit. And she's saying millions of motherfuckers out here law of attraction, gang stalking into their lives. Oh, fat devil.
It's thousands trauma-based, like myself. And like myself, people who try to take a stand and expose these atrocities, are labeled by the government as dissidents and are, executed or summarily killed, mind hobbled, set up and framed and thrown into a mental institution or a prison.
Just like Terminator.
Pushed to the margins of society and made to look delusional and schizophrenic.
What I tell you about Terminator, you know what I'm saying? What they did to Sarah Connor, they locked her ass up and threw her in a mental joint, right?
Falsely misdiagnosed with mental illnesses like they did to me. When I went to the doctor and told him this was happening, they threw me in a mental institution for 10 days. Making the paperwork out as if I volunteered to go in there when they escorted me by police car.
Ain't that a bitch?
To the mental institution.
Ain't that a bitch?
Only when I filled out a piece of paper and demanded to be released did they release me. Oh, he volunteered to come in here. No, I didn't. It's all hypergame theory. They can alter anything, any medical records. They can go back and retroactively alter anything.
Hypergame theory
to discredit the victim. So the victim's forcibly and falsely misdiagnosed with a mental illness. So they're not taken seriously and pushed to the margins of society or altogether removed from society because they somehow became a threat to this depraved Orwellian government that people call the United States of America.
Y'all gotta forgive my movement, man.
No,
I'm like actually laying down.
Camp.
I'm like actually laying down and shit.
You're American.
I'm holding.
And you're living in America. You live